some of you think that I don't struggle. Like the comments and the messages and the emails that I've gotten over the years. I just finished recording the mindset of the Daisy dress, of like how I got that dress done. And there are some good pointers in there, but there's some stuff I didn't go over that I am going to address in this video because I've gotten a number of messages over the years, and it just sort of like has, I don't know, it's had this energy that I feel like I need to say some words. So I struggle. I can give you 2 examples today and one massive fail from a couple nights ago. So I'm in my new space. Well, it's not new space. Okay, we have redone this space. This is the same office I've been in for 3 years now. I am so grateful to be in this space, and I have moved with the help of my husband, we moved all of my sewing stuff here because I was so tired of like, well, I can't do this because this one thing's at home or this one thing's at the office. They're just like, So, yeah, my sewing stuff is here at my office, and it's been, I mean, the dust is still settling with like, this should be plugged in over here or that should be moved here, like all a little fine tuning. So grateful for the space. I'm loving it, and I am sorry, I thought I had a sneeze. I'm really excited, like, once the dust actually settles, just to be able to run in here and just like, this is so exciting to be able to do this and do that, and just already it's opened up so many doors. But, so I was going to, I was going to film that video this morning, and you see this curtain behind me? It's not perfect. There's still some, like, mess in this area that it's not, I guess I can move this thing there. Here we go. A little bit better. But anyway, it's still not perfect, right? It's all good. It's all good. We can move the focus, though. Hold on. Something I'm going to be, like, epically professional. It's going to be scary. Anyhow. Not epically professional yet. We've been on YouTube for 10-ish years. We have another channel we started before my channel. So I've had plenty of experience. Nowhere, like, I'm still learning a ton all the time. But yeah, so before the video this morning, I wanted to cover up what this curtain is doing. So, this right here took about 1.5 hours of my time. Maybe it was more like 2 hours of my time this morning between, okay, what should I do? Oh yeah, I have these curtains from where I used over here before we moved everything around, so I can take those curtains and use them over here. So that's good. Now I gotta get some sort of rod to hang them up on. So I went to Lowe's and got a conduit, like a metal conduit thing. Okay, so check that off. Now what's the next step? Next step is getting the conduit mounted, right, to the ceiling. One of the things I love about this space so much is that there's wood everywhere. So you can just basically put anything anywhere you want because you don't need to, like, where are the studs? There's just options everywhere. It's awesome. So, went to go put it in. Now, I have a long history with a drill driver. We just don't jive together. I have stripped many screws. I have said many, like, swear words over it. Like, I've sweated. I mean, I've been in those situations where you're just like, I just want you to work. Me, with a drill gun, all the time. So, I picked up the drill gun, had a little nice pep talk, headed over, said all the right things, right? And, of course, no. I'm looking for a pilot, looking for, like, a little drill bit, because I'm doing the hook things, so I'm looking for a little drill bit. That way I can have a little pilot hole to get, what I'm trying to say, get the thing started. Couldn't find that, so I'm thinking, well, maybe then I'll just find a little small screw and use the small screw like you would a drill bit. So I did that. Then the bit that was on the drill gun already was too big for this tiny screw, so then I went in the back to look for a smaller screw, a smaller bit. And in that process, I found the drill bit. So I was like, oh, now I can drill a hole. Awesome. So I did that, got the thing screwed in, and once it was screwed in, I tried to mount it and realized that the hooks were too small for the conduit. So now I've got to open up the hooks. Okay, we can do. How do we do that? Well, I don't have like, you know, any sort of vice grips or anything here. I don't have one of those big metal doohickeys where you screw it down and get it clamped in real nice. So I do though I'm looking around, I do have a heavy paper cutter, and I'm like, well, I can use that. So what I ended up doing was using the paper cutter thing along with a pair of pliers and standing on the paper cutter to add more weight and moving the pliers back and opened her up. So now took the hook things down so I could do the whole process, did the whole process, got them opened up, verified them, because now I'm brilliant in my experience with putting up this curtain, verified them before I put the hooks back up on the ceiling, which is what I should have done the first time. Did that, they did fit, put the hooks back up on the ceiling, got the conduit in. Okay, cool. Now we're done, right? Now let's just put the curtains on. No, we're not done, because oh yeah, these aren't actually curtains from when I use them over here. When I use them over here, I just like punched, what do you call them? Not safety pins. What do you call those things? They're not safety pins, they are push pins, you know, for a cork board. I just did that number into the wall. So there's nothing sewn, there's no loop for the conduit to go through. So now, okay, we're not done. Now, turn on the sewing machine and get the curtains gone. So I did that and got like 7 things. Sorry, there's people past, it's fine. So got 7 things gone through, and now we have this nice little thing that just blurs out all the ugly behind there. 2 hours, so this could be blurred out. Okay, now it's one and done, and here we go. But there were fails all along there, right? Struggles and fails and all that sort of stuff. And the thing was like, okay, now what? Now how can I do that? Now how can I do this? Now how can I? Okay, and now what? And you know, another thing is, oh my God, the photos for Daisy's dress this morning. If you are a photographer and you would like to work for free, I mean, hi. I'm just kidding. Nobody works for free. Nobody should work for free. But I am by no means a professional photographer. I just do my best, and I try to evolve with it. It's a huge rabbit hole. It's an art form. My hat's off to all of y'all that do it well. I'm not one of them. But I do my best at it, and I'm trying to continuously learn, and I've got books, and I've done things to try to get knowledge to do things nicely, okay? So this morning, I am in my professional studio, which means I've got 2 really cheap doohickey things that have a bar that you can have like a drop cloth situation. I've got a really cheap drop cloth situation, and it comes with all of the delights of being very cheap. It is everything that you think. All knobs pop off. You look at them wrong, it falls to pieces. The whole thing is a mess. I really should invest into something, but I don't have a space. Maybe now with the new office space, I'll get like a corner and have me a little sewing studio. Oh my gosh, not sewing studio, photography studio. But alas, I don't have one. And this morning, I didn't have one for that whole thing. So I've got my cheap old setup. I've got the things, and I've ironed this, circle skirt on this ironing board because that's what I had at the time, which is not ideal for a big old circle skirt that you're trying to get to laid all nicely and everything. But we did it. We got through it. Laid it out on the drop cloth, which is the whole thing of trying to get this, and it's still not right. You can look at these pictures, and I've still got little bumps here and there and everywhere. And then, it's a black drop cloth. So forget trying to get every piece of dust and lint off of this thing because it's black. It's going to show everything. So just take them out and post. That's just the easiest way to do it. Not to say that it takes a ton of time, but it's easier than trying to do it in real life. And then you're trying to get everything to like the wrinkles and to lay flat. And again, you can see in these pictures, it's still not doing like it should. And then the bar drops a handful of times. It just told me to change the battery pack, so I'm not sure when it stopped recording. But so yeah, I got this whole setup. Nothing's ironed nicely. Nothing's laying. I'm just doing the best that I can with my setup. the bar has dropped a number of times. Every time that it drops, you got to put her back up and do the whole trying to smooth everything out again and whatever. Get these pictures taken. I'm up on this dinky ladder that is nothing's ideal. But we just do, right? You do the best with what you have at the time, like with your setup and your knowledge and where you are, and you don't stress about it. What's the point? Because if I stress about it, it doesn't allow me to think as clearly, but also if I can't change it. So now I can't think clearly, so I don't see, solutions to the issues that are coming up, so that's no good. But also, I can't change it, right? So what's the point? What's the point? Even if I have no solutions, even if I'm able to somehow magically think clearly through the thing while being stressed out, I still, I only have, so much under my control. You want my epic fail from a couple days ago, and I'm still feeling the effects from it? Speaking of my coffee, it's over there. So a couple days ago, I got 2 hours of sleep because my neighbor kindly called me at 9:45. I'm the worst mother. Charlie was... Okay, here's what happened. Let me paint you the scene, alright? This is such a fail. Charlie was off on a camping trip because life is supposed to be fun. And we've got school. So it's just do the early mornings, do the afternoons, evenings, we're done. It's all good. I got school. It's all good. So I get a call at 9:45. My neighbor, she is amazing. And from the moment I met her, it was just something is special about this person. She makes everybody around her feel amazing. She lifts everybody up. She's just breath of fresh air. And we're not by any, we're not, BFF, close friends. I would love to have spent more time with her. We're just busy. Both of us are just super busy with life. But even the limited amount of time, what I'm trying to say is the limited amount of time I have spent with her, she has taught me so much. She's made me a better person. Anywho, so I get this lovely phone call from her at 9:45 the other night. Get woken up. She actually has called me a couple times at this point. I got all the sound machines. I'm asleep. I've been asleep for 2 or 3 hours. And she's like, "Don't you worry, I'm coming." And I'm like, sorry, what am I supposed to be worried about? What do you mean? I'm waking up, And she's like, "I'm coming. I got him. You got, who do you have? Your children." Henry and Daisy. Henry is just over 5. Daisy is about 3.5. They snuck out of their rooms. Who knows what hour they started this journey. Because her house, we live in the mountains, if you're not familiar. We live in the mountains. Her house is a good quarter of a mile up the road from our house. And her house is up on the hill. Her house is, I keep saying, she's married, they have a family. My neighbors, they're family, right? Anyway, I'm still feeling it from the other night. So there's probably a good 50, 100 foot elevation difference between my house, our house down here, and their house up here, right? So my children, not only was it about quarter of a mile different, but they had to go up. And as you're going up this path, there's a drop off. And she called me at 9:45. The sun is long gone by then. Or this time of year, the sun starts to set around 8 o'clock. It's long gone. I don't know when they started this journey. And I think they made the conscious decision to go that direction because there's a big old wild blackberry bush this time of year that, blackberries, enough said. But had they gone to the left, that's a major highway. And she was amazing. She brought my kids home. I didn't even know they were gone. She thought there was a cat at her back door. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was awake, which I don't know when I've been awake at 10 o'clock recently, but if I was awake and I thought there was just a cat at the back door, I don't know that I would have gone. And then she went to see what the noise was, and they were two of my children. And she put them in her car and she drove them to me. You know, like, and they weren't hurt. They didn't, like, so epic fail. I tried to, well, I tried to calm down that night. Of course, Charlie's off camping, and it's in the middle of the night, and I don't want to just call people, you know, and tell them what a horrible mother I am to, now please console me so I can calm down and get some sleep, right? So I'm like making a pot of tea. I'm like, that's the thing to do. Let's make some tea. And then so I'm waiting for the kettle to go, and I'm looking out my window, like the kitchen window, which has the trail that they just went up. And I'm seeing Daisy's sweet 3-year-old face. For some reason, Henry's face didn't come to my mind. I was like, I don't know. I think Henry caused this, and he's 5, so whatever. But I kept seeing Daisy's sweet face come to my, and just like imagining her walking up, holding her brother's hand, because I'm imagining that they're at least sweet while they're doing this thing, this midnight soiree. And I'm imagining her going up this path, and I was like, well, there's my tea, and I guess here comes my next day, you know, like I didn't go back to sleep. And the next day, I tell you, I was just ready to run. I was like, motherhood, it is not for the faint heart. But yeah, I struggle. Do the best with what you can, with where you are, with what you know. That's all the advice I have. All the advice I have.